All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol FCEL, Fuelcell Energy Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, Fuelcell Energy Inc. has had a run since the last time I was able to squeeze it into the videos that I do. And here we are seeing it run up, continue to trace itself above the 50-day moving average, and the bulls have done a pretty well job at keeping it above the 50-day moving average. They've done a good job here. You can see that pretty well in the chart, and we're gonna see our new support, our new resistance based off the last couple hours of the day, and then we're gonna talk about it a little bit broader and look at some numbers that are important. So let's move this to its new location. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below. Do you think this is going to continue to work its way up? Is the 50-day moving average going to actually catch up to the price? Because that's what it's been doing. And the bulls are going to get exhausted and the bears are going to appear. Or do you think that this can continue its momentum? Those are the things we're going to look at here. And that's what I want to ask you guys directly to all the investors invested in this or viewing this one in their watch list. So I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below. So, Fuelcell 936, the 50-day moving average is 910. As long as it's above that, it's in bullish territory. The moment it's below that, it's in bearish territory. So very important to keep that in mind. And let's talk about this a little bit broader before we narrow in into this resistance and support. So our support down here is right at this point at 891. That is the lowest point before this continued to run, before it started heading closer to the 50-day moving average previously when it was down here. So 891, super important to keep in mind if this breaks through support and significantly starts to work its way down. So I want every single investor to keep that in mind. The highest point reached in this bullish run and trajectory was 972. If we zoom out, you could see that 972 is the highest point reached. Right? It finally broke through those highs here that we once talked about in the previous videos of 956, and 972 is the newest high that we reached in this bullish run. So the bulls definitely need to break through that to reach new highs and new resistance levels. If it gets broken through, the next point would be up here at 1042, but we still have other resistance levels to focus on and pay close attention to. And the first one is the one we're about to talk about, and then 972 before even worrying about the $10 mark. So let's look at our support. Our support is 907. The bulls want to stay away from this. If the bears accomplish this, they accomplish two things. They broke through the 50-day moving average, which gets this into bearish territory, and they broke through the support 907, which could signify that this could be on its way down to newer lows, newer support levels, and getting deeper into bearish territory. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. 907, you want to pay close attention to the behavior of this stock. How quickly is it moving to newer lows? And then use that 891 mark as a point of reference to see if the bulls are trying to reappear between support and the next support, or are the bears just tearing this one downwards into newer lows and new support levels. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. And 907 is already in bearish territory, and pulling away from that just means we're hitting newer lows and newer support levels and getting deeper into bearish territory. So very, very important to watch the behavior of this stock. And this is why I asked that question earlier on in the video. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think the bulls are getting exhausted here, and this may get into bearish territory for some time, and that the bears are about to appear? Or do you believe that the bulls are going to continue to pull through? So let's see our resistance here that the bulls need to break through, and that is 945. That's the second highest point as this recovered from this drop, right? But this was very volatile, so I didn't really want to use it. And then it's also really close to the highs up here of 972. I mean, that's not too far away on 965. So it's a 20-cent difference. So after 945, the next focus would be 972. And that way it breaks through 965 and 972 to reach newer highs. And this is the peak anyways, before the fall, and this is a slight recovery. Way too volatile here. It hit lows of like 8.99 all the way to 9.64. So I focused in more on this one. And 9.45 is more reasonable. It's where it kind of leveled off and continued to run slightly, and then it started to fall, and then it recovered slightly below that at 9.36. So 9.45 is the first resistance level that the bulls want to break through, and they need to break through. I want to emphasize that. Need to break through 9.45 because the 50-day moving average already crossed support, and it's going to continue to work its way up, and it can cross the price. And I'm going to illustrate this. My drawing is terrible, but I hope you guys can get the illustration and visualize this. So if this kind of hangs out sideways, or even if it slightly breaks through the 50-day moving average but just can't hold up above it, not the 50-day moving average, the resistance up here, the 50-day moving average will catch up to the price and end up above the stock price up here, and the stock price would be down here, meaning that the bears can gain leverage, and by default this will end up in bearish territory. So very, very important to keep that in mind, pay close attention to, and watch this, and keep in mind that the bulls need to break through this resistance 9.45 to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets on these dates. The charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88 and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02 and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates, and even on these dates there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, and my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.